Hey, it's Xenokron here, and today we're going to talk about the right ship for the job and how to choose it. Okay, so we covered already the basics on fitting, what you need to do, for the different slots, the high slots, the mid slots, the low slots, the rigs, and how to play around with the fits. But the one thing that I did not go over is how to pick the right ship for the job. All right. Every ship has its specialty stuff. Now, that's not saying that you can't use more than one ship to accomplish something, but the ships that you use, each one has bonuses, and those bonuses might make it easier for you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So today we're going to kind of look at that. So when we go to our fitting window, and let's say, well, we're alpha characters, so let's look at the frigates to start with. So when I open the frigate window, and let's say I want a mission run, and let's look at our skills real quick. So looking at our skills, we're training into light missiles, but we do not have light missiles yet. When we look at our gunnery, see, we have, let's change this to my skills. So when we look at this, we have semi-decent starting level skills for gunnery. When we go to missiles, we notice we have decent missile launcher operation, but that's really it. We're just starting our light training for missiles. We have not learned rockets or anything else. So if I were to go and do some missions right now, I know that I cannot use a missile ship. So when I look at it, let's look at our Caldaris. When we look at our Bantam and we hover over it, we see that it has 10% bonus to remote shield boosters and 10% reduction in remote shield booster activation cost. And it gives a 300% bonus to shield booster, remote shield booster fall off. So basically what that's saying is while you can put other things on that ship, let's take a look at it real quick. Let's simulate it. While you can put anything you want into these slots, it will get a bonus to remote shield booster amount. So how much it is repairing for the shields for other ships. The remote shield booster activation cost. So how much in capacitor it takes when you activate it. And then it gives you a 300% bonus to remote shield booster fall off, which means that you can go a lot farther out while repairing shields. You can be a lot farther apart from the ship that you're trying to repair. So let's look at that. So I can go in here and I can go to my modules, and let's go to our high slots. And you can do this. You can, let's try lasers. So it's a frigate, so you're not obviously going to have large ones, but we can, if we wanted, put in lasers. Okay, we have 2 turret hard points for guns. We have 0 for launchers. So if we wanted to, we could put guns in there. Now, we're not going to get any kind of bonus for those guns because we have, let me bring up the information. When you look at this and you go to your traits, again, we have bonuses to these. Okay, so having guns up here is not going to matter. We can use them, but we're not going to get any bonuses. There would be better choice for those high slots. But let's go with our projectiles. So when we look at what we were using, we were getting, let's see, that's a civilian Gatling gun. So let's take a look really quick. Let's view contents. And so I had a Gatling rail. All right. So I can go ahead and okay, auto cannons. So I can put in Gatling guns. Okay. If I wanted to. Now those are auto cannons and I'm not trained for those. So what were these again? Let's see here. View contents. All right. Oh, okay, these were rail guns. So I can go ahead and fit these to the ship. I can only fit 2. All right. I can go ahead and I've got more high slots, so you're probably going to want to fit shields or something on there. You're going to want to fit a propulsion thing on there, either a micro warp drive or an afterburner, and maybe something to help out there. And we have 2 low slots and we got 3 rigs. All right, so we know that we can fit those. However, this is not the best ship for that because we're not going to get any bonus. So let's go back and let's take a look. We look at the Condor, and that gives us a bonus to light missiles and rocket damage. And it gives us an 80% reduction in propulsion jamming. So that is a good tackle ship. It will give missiles, which should apply fairly decent to something close, light missiles and smaller ships. And you can also fit on there scrams to keep them from warping away. But again, that's not going to help us right now. So we look at our Griffin. We have 15% bonus to ECM target jammer strength and a 10% reduction in ECM target jammer activation cost. So again, I can put on my weapons. As you can see, I can go ahead and equip 2 of these railguns, but again, I'm not going to get any bonus. So again, it's not worth it. So we look at the Heron, and that is bonus to core and combat scanner probe strength, 5% reduction in salvager, and 5% bonus to relic and data analyzer. Great exploration ship, not good for what I want to do. So let's look at the Kestrel. All right, 5% bonus to light missile and rocket, and 10% bonus to light missile and rocket max velocity. So again, not ideal for what we're going to do. However, when we go to the Merlin, we see that we get a 5% bonus to small hybrid turret damage and a 4% bonus to shield resistances. So that is ideally going to be our best with our current skills. So when you are looking at your ships, that's what you want to do. Now, if you have a little bit more ISK to play with, we have the Caldari Navy Hookbill, which again is a missile ship. It gives you a bonus to kinetic light missile and rocket damage. So if you were going to do any kind of mission against a faction that takes high damage to kinetic missile or kinetic damage, this would be a good ship to have because it's giving you a bonus to kinetic light missile and rocket damage. So if you're using thermal, explosive, or EM, you're not going to get a bonus. But it does give you a bonus to EM, explosive, thermal, light missile, rocket damage, but not as much. So you get a 20% there, but you get a 25% to kinetic. And then you get a 10% bonus to light missile and rocket max velocity. So that is a pretty decent little ship. It's going to be good for mission running, for small missions where you're not going to take much damage because it doesn't have a whole lot of tank, and good for faction PvP. So let's look at the Griffin Navy issue. So now this one, if you remember, our regular Griffin gave us a 15% to ECM target jammer strength and 10% to ECM target jammer activation. This one here has nothing to do with the ECMs. This one gives you a 20% bonus to small hybrid turret damage and a 10% bonus to ECM drone jam duration. So this one you can use the drones to go ahead and do your ECM while still putting a couple of weapons on there. And now gives you a negative 85% penalty to drone damage and a negative 50% reduction in drone hit points and control range. So basically, you're not going to be able to use any combat drones on there and get anything decent out of there because it's giving you a penalty. And then it gives you a reduction in drone hit points. So that's not really good. Those are kind of negatives there. It's taken away some of the drone hit points, 50% of them. So if they have, let's say, 100 hit points, they're only going to have 50. And it takes away half of your control range. So let's say you can normally control out to 25 kilometers. This is going to be resulting in only 12 and a half. So you always want to look at the ship's bonuses and stuff. Let's go to the Heron Navy issue. So when we look there, we have a 7.5 bonus to core and combat scanner probe strength. We have a 30% bonus to light missile and rocket damage, 99% reduction in scan prober launcher CPU requirement, and a 5% bonus to relic and data analyzer virus strength. So that one gives your exploration ship a little bit of a bite with the bonus to light missile and rocket damage. You have 30%, where the regular one, you don't have any. Now this one here, you have 5% bonus to relic and data analyzer virus strength, and you still have that same one here. However, the one that's the most important is scan probe launcher. 99% reduction in CPU requirements. So let's kind of take a look and see what that looks like. So first we have our regular Heron. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to here and let us look at our now I lost my train of thought. Let me go back for how we were looking at. Man, I'm getting old. Okay, so we were looking at the combat and the CPU. So let's go here and so let's see here. Helps if you type it right. So here we have our probes. So we have our core. So when we put this in, right, now it doesn't take much CPU at all. So 4.81%. Okay. And the T2 version, Tech 2 version, doesn't take a whole lot more, 6.4%. However, if you are looking to do combat scanning or you want to scan down ships and stuff, when you put this on here, look at that. So 70.51%. So you are using 70% of your CPU is going to that expanded probe launcher. And that is the one that fits your combat probes. So here you have combat scanner probes, is where when you look at the regular core ones, all you can use is core scanner probes, which will go to anomalies and stuff like that. Now, let's switch over and let's go to this one here. So now we're going to go ahead and look at this one. So when we go to our modules and we put our T1 version in here, notice that we're at 0.06 instead of like 2%. When we put our Tech 2 in there, we are still at a 0.6. Okay, excellent. Now, the big thing, you put your expanded probe launcher in there and look at that. 2.19% versus the 70% of the regular Heron. And this is why looking at the ship's bonuses and traits is so important. Okay. Finding the right ship for the job that you want. You can use any ship in game almost to do almost anything, but to truly get the most out of your ship, you want to pick your ship for your mission, and you want to fit it for your mission. And I don't mean just missions like mission running. I mean anything, PvP, mining, hauling, anything. You want to pick the ship that has the best bonuses to what you want to accomplish. And it's very important to look at that. So destroyers, we can fly destroyers now. So if I'm looking here, the Corax, 5% bonus to light missile and rocket damage for kinetic, 10% for light missile and rocket explosion velocity, and it gives me a 50% to light missile, rocket, and max velocity. Now, another thing to know is that every skill box that you put into it will increase that. So what I mean is, let's look at our requirements. So we need Caldari Destroyer 1, right? So with one box in one, I'm going to get a 5%, a 10%, and a 50%. So when I go to 2 boxes, that's going to increase. So let's look at our ship command. And so my destroyer, I'm already maxed out. I got 4 boxes in there. So I'm going to get a 20% bonus because I have 4 boxes. So each box is this. I'm going to get a 40% bonus to light missile and rocket, right? And that's going to go up as well. So you want to make sure you pick the right one. But I'm not good at missiles right now, so that one is not going to work for me. So the Cormorant, that one gives me 10% bonus to small hybrid turret tracking speed, 10% bonus to small hybrid turret optimal range, so it'll reach farther. The tracking is how quickly the guns can keep up with a ship. The faster the ship, the harder it is for the guns to track it and hit it. Think about anything when you're trying to hit a moving target, right? It's a lot more difficult to hit a moving target. So the better your tracking is, the more accurate it's going to be. And then we get a 50% bonus to small hybrid turret optimal range. So again, that's going to really help us out. So with our current skills, we're really going to want to use a Cormorant if we go with the destroyer. Now we have the Cormorant Navy issue. That gives us a 5% bonus to small hybrid turret damage, 10% bonus to small hybrid turret optimal range, and it also gives us a 10% bonus to shield booster amount. So we can run a shield booster to repair our shields, right? 10% bonus. So let's look at that. So when we go here, we simulate this ship. Let's go to our hardware. We are going to go to our medium slot because that's where our shields are. I'll type in booster there. And small, let's see, small shield booster. Put that on there. And notice we have 26 HP bonus every 2 seconds. But look at this. We have almost no capacitor. If we are running this, we will completely run out of capacitor with just this one item in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. If you start to put something else on, let's throw on our propulsion. Let's throw on an afterburner, okay? When we put on an afterburner, now look, we went down to 1 minute and 34 seconds. If we were to go with, a micro warp drive, go with the smallest one. Let's not go with the T2 5MN. There we go. We put that on there. Notice we only have 50 seconds. So if we're running both of these, and that's just these 2 items, not including anything else that takes capacitor, we're going to run out of capacitor in 50 seconds. So let's go back and let's look at that Navy issue. Now it's going to cost quite a bit more. When we look at this, we're not in an ideal place. We're not in JITA, but you still get the picture. Actually, JITA is right there. So 1.2 million for a Corax, but, or well, no, actually we wanted the Cormorant. So 899,000. So basically 900,000 for the Cormorant. But when we look at the Navy issue, we're looking at almost 20 mil. All right. Those blueprints for those have to be looted. They are one-time use, and you get a lot better bonuses. So these ships are quite a bit more expensive. So let's go ahead and let's simulate. Notice now we gained a slot here. When we go to this Cormorant here, we simulate, we only have 3. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 high slots, 3 mids, and 2 lows. But when we go to the Navy issue, we only have 2, 4, 6, 7. So we lost 1 high slot, but we gained 1 mid slot. Now, when we look at this, remember, it gives us a 10% bonus to shield booster amount. So the other one was 26 HP every 2 seconds. So let's go ahead, type in booster and small shield booster 1, exactly what we used before. Now notice, same thing with the capacitor, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. However, with this one, we get 36 HP per 2 seconds. All right, so it gave us an extra 10 HP per 2 seconds. Now, what you can do, and you can look into other things. If we go to engineering, and we can go to capacitor batteries, and we can throw in a capacitor battery. Notice now we have 3 minutes and 24 seconds, so you can use something like that to help your capacitor out. You can use a capacitor booster, and what happens is when you put that in there, you hit your show info, use a booster. So let's use one of these, and notice now it's stable. So every time you click this, it'll refresh your capacitor. So you could use something like that in the slot to help. We also, let's make sure we're in the mid slots here. We also have a capacitor recharger. So now we can go 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And it recharges our capacitor more quickly. So everything that you do will affect it. So by losing a mid slot for something to help out a capacitor, we are losing something that might help out our guns or something else. But that's for a whole nother video. But again, when you are looking at ships, you want to look at their bonuses. All right. That's the most important thing when you're picking out a ship. All right. Well, actually, let's go back to the frigates. So, Caldari are well known for their missile skills. If we go to Amar, you're going to see small energy turret. All right. Weapon disruptor. Small energy turret. And there's your Logi, your remote armor rep. As where the Caldaris are more shield ships, these are more armor ships. Here is your explorer ship, and another small energy, and then we look at this weapon disruptor, small energy, and small energy and combat scanners. All right, so when we go to Galante, we're going to notice they use a different kind of gun, and they also use more with drones. So small hybrid turrets. This one is your explorer ship. Okay, armor repair. They're more of an armor ship. We have remote sensor dampeners, so they do a little bit something different. Remote armor repair. Then this one, notice how it has a 10% bonus to drone hit points and tracking speed. So it gives a bonus for drones. All right, small hybrid turret. There's your explorer version again. And here's another one for warp scramblers. So every single one is different. When you go to Minmatar and you start looking, light missiles and rockets, remote shield boosters or shields again, our explorer ship, small projectile turret, a little bit different, small projectile. There's target painters, light missiles, and small. So as you can see, every race specializes in something a little bit different, and each one has somewhat similar bonuses and somewhat different bonuses. So you have to look at your skills and really know what your skills are, and then you have to pick your ship and based on your skills and what bonuses will help you best in whatever it is you are trying to do. So I am going to end this here. Now, granted, I just looked at frigates, but I mean, it's the same thing. You know, I started to go to the battleships, so let's look at that. When you look at the battleships, go to Caldari. All right, large hybrid turrets, shield extenders, armor plates. This one, heavy missiles, cruise missiles, torpedoes. Give bonuses for that. Shield extenders, armor plates. All right. This one is your ECM. Gives you a bunch of stuff, plus shield extender, armor plates. This one's cruise missiles and torpedoes. And heavy missiles, cruise missiles, torpedoes. So when you're looking for your ships, again, even with the bigger ships, it's still kind of the same thing. Here we go, large energy turrets instead of small energy turrets. All right, because they are the ones that use the energy. So it's the same no matter what. If you go into your Black Ops ships, your that will be able to, I don't want to get into that right now, but still the same thing, large energy turrets. When we go here, we have ECM, heavy missiles, cruise missiles. When we go here, logistics drones, drone damage, or drone range. So again, each one has different bonuses, somewhat similar, but somewhat different. They're similar to other ships in their racial class, but they are different from the different racial ships. So you always want to look at that when you are picking out your ship. So I will be continuing to bring more new player content and videos to help teach new players and help retain new players. EVE is an amazing game, and I hate to see the attrition of people just, you know, getting confused, getting frustrated, and quitting. So hopefully these will help people. By all means, if you know somebody new, please recommend them if you like them. More people that watch them, hopefully the more people that will enjoy EVE a little bit more quickly from the beginning and will stay. All right. If you have enjoyed this video, please go ahead and press that like button and subscribe for more videos. By liking it and subscribing it, it lets YouTube know what kind of job I'm doing and whether people are enjoying my content or not. If you have any questions, anything that you would like to know or see in future videos, please mention it in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see and what you think of this video and whether it helped you or not. And so I am going to go ahead and end here. As always, thank you for watching and fly dangerous.